What up, world? Is your boy what coming in with a fresh new take on the Jesmon deck profile, because our boys are families. Boy, and the girls are singing, the systemons are chirping in the background, absolutely celebrating, because it's been a while since we've had Jesmon at full power. So in this video, I mean, we've had a lot of people sliding in the DMs like, yo, Dred, where the profile be at? And I'm like, I'm cooking in the lab, my guy, hold up. So in this video, we're gonna go over two deck profiles. One's gonna be your GX-less deck, which is just so fast, all about the gas, no brakes. And then we have the GX profile, which is, you know, the old faithful, the boy that is still safe, absolutely clapping those cheeks with the hefty check damage. So if this is the video for you as I go through the tech source and all that good stuff, then make sure you stick around and enjoy. And if you are new to the channel, you like what you see and also hear, then make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell because I do videos on the reg. Right, two profiles to go through. Hopefully I can quickly whistle through this and it's not going to be a 30-minute video. So let's get on cooking. Obviously our boy is off the ban list, and that is going to be your BT6 Savior, which, I mean, it's been a long time coming. It is so been a long time coming, but now he is back. And in the GX-less build, you're going to be running him at 4 for sure. But starting off with the X is going to be the Gurumon BT6 edition, which when you're attacking, if you have a 6000 DP, draw one. In this deck, you need to be drawing, because when you popping off, you want to make sure that you've got all the key cards in order for you to successfully chip through that security gloriously. So, best card in slot for the GX-less build. Going on to the rookies, we're running an 11. I mean, standard is going to be the BT6 Huckmon. This one is your primary searcher. Netting 2 cards to pretty much search through your whole deck is going to be absolutely crucial, because obviously if it's got Huckmon, Systemon, or Jesmon in name, you can grab them and then put the rest to the bottom of the deck. Definitely crucial for your strat. And also as well with the GX-less build, it's good to kind of throw them out and get a nice little swing in there. Get into that sweet threshold for you to absolutely OTK. So going on to now, the one that is most likely going to bottom deck all your source is going to be your BT7 Huckmon. This is good because when attacking, you're able to basically search top 5. If they're all Systemons, grab them all. If they're not, bottom deck them all. I'm in a love-hate relationship with this card, because most times, if you're going to be popping off, you're most likely going to have some Systemons in hands, unless you have to really go all gas, no brakes, and just kind of top deck and, you know, high roll your ass way through. But it is nice when you do get your Systemons, because it is crucial that you do have Systemons in hand in order for your starter deck Jesmon to be going in there with the Judgment, the blah blah blah, Muhammad, going in clapping those cheeks. So definitely run that a nice solid 3. And then we go in with the best in slot. It's going to be a BT14 Huckmon. This is just fantastic. Absolutely great in order for you to gain that memory when you play a Systemon. Obviously, the main deck is all about that good stuff. And then if you happen to have this out on field and you play a Systemon, then you can evo into a Bow Huckmon for 0 cost. Yum, yum, scrum dilly yum. And I tell you, that is so nice, but very rare that will pop off. Then we ran it off with the starter deck Blanc. So this is going to be your main protection, kind of like your built-in delicate plan in a sense against deletion effects, and also enable you to basically draw your cards. It is crucial that we do grab our Chimeramon. So able to play this Systemon, able to trash a card from hand and then draw 2 off the top of your deck is just so crucial. And then on top of that, it does grant your red and black Digimon decoy, which is going to be great if you've obviously got a Huckmon in its name or Raw Knights in its trait. So really handy in order for you to kind of swing in against a very sec heavy security. You can just sacrifice this in order to keep your Jesmon alive. So that concludes for the rookies. We're not running any blockers because, I mean, we all gas, no brakes. I think you missed the memo, but if you didn't, you already know the drill. So going on to the champions, we're rocking with a solid 14. So our main suspects here, and I'm going to just fly straight to the enable of the O2K? O0TK. There we go. O2K. Why am I saying that wrong? Anyway, Greymon. What this boy be cooking? He's back out on field. Basically, security attack +1 in inheritable. This is great for your starter deck Jesmon. And if you got Savior Hook in the inheritables, obviously double unsuspend, you're going to be doing 6 checks with this inheritable. it's the sauce. It is absolutely the sauce. If you've got this card in your stack, then you're pretty much safe. You don't have to do any early chips because you just got to go for that big D damage. Then for the actual Hookmons, this is going to be great in order for you to obviously gain more memory when you are playing System On. That is quite crucial because ideally you do want to be kind of keeping turn in order for you to unsuspend swing again. So the BT14 bow hook is definitely be good in that. Also, obviously it's on turn. If you play a System On, you're able to digivolve into a SaviorHuckmon for the cost of 1. Really good ramp up right here with the unrestricted Savior, because it means that obviously you can essentially, depending on obviously the Systemons you have in hand, you can literally ramp up into Blitz Jess and absolutely go ham. But I wouldn't recommend it because you will not have enough memory in order to claw back turn and swing again, go for that OTK. So play it a little bit safe, guys. Don't go too thirsty. So we do run that there at a solid 4, and then we just run the 1 BT6 bow hook. Really nice, just obviously enable us to kind of delete any floodgates if we do have a System On out on field, which is going to be glorious right there. But like I say, when we're going out, we're just going out to kill. So that concludes obviously for the red champions. Now going on to the sisters. So nice 3-3 split, and that's going to be your BT6 CL. This is going to be your essentially your DP increaser / memory gainer when you are playing out the System On to claw back turn and go in for the, obviously the double swing action, which is going to be handy. And then we go in with the BT10 CL, which is going to be once again a facilitator in order for you to essentially chain up from your starter Jesmon into your Jesmon X, which is going to be handy. Spawn out more sisters, facilitate more Chimera plays. That is what we're here for. And obviously, when we are evoing into Jesmon X, we can gain the memory because effectively it doesn't cost you to go to Jesmon X, but you gain the memory if you've evoed into a card with Hookmon or Royal Knights in its trait. So really handy stuff. Nice solid 14. Going on to the ultimates, and I mean, it's gonna be our boy be back out with the champ stamp. Yo, let's go. Or final stamp, shall I say. So this is such a facilitator for the OTK. It's the main purpose of him doing what he needs to do in order for you to just go in, chip, Omnimon, done. The thing that's really good with this one is also that you're able to play a Systemon when digivolving from hand. So like I've mentioned, BT6 CL really facilitates you gaining memory. Depending on obviously your inheritables, you're really gaining more memory, enabling you to essentially go into your Blitz Jess and actually keep turn quite successfully whilst obviously playing more Systemons. One thing to note though, like Jesmon is still susceptible to effectively a freaking cheeky Pomomon or anything that stops cards being played by card effects. Honestly, it's a menace when that happens because it really just kind of disables what we're trying to do. So obviously keep that in mind right there. But we do have inheritables which can actually gain us memory, so we can actually throw out a sister in order for us to essentially get our strategy online if needs be. Granted, most likely we will be probably passing turn if we have to do that. But we do run that as a solid 4, definitely our main facilitator for the strat. And then we just run the 1 BT14 Savior. This obviously is a solid Savior right here. Obviously enables us to effectively make our starter deck Jess cheaper if we do happen to play a Systemon out. Which is nice, and obviously Inevitable is able to play a Systemon. Though ultimately we do want the BT6 Savior in stack, obviously to facilitate the OTK goodness, the sauce. So this is the reason why we're going kind of greedy on this. We kind of just gone in because ideally you just want this in stack. That is the game plan. Boy in stack, this emergency if needs be. Then we go heavy greed on the Chimeramon at 3. I mean, this boy can absolutely just take advantage of the Systemons that you spawn out, enabling you to get more checks. If you manage to tuck under a BT6 Savior and you still have a Systemon out on field, this boy can attack twice, which is hella nice. You know, boy be eating that up right there. Absolutely glorious alt art, and just, yeah. Ideally for the strat, the reason why we actually bumped him up to 3 is because it is unsearchable, so you kind of just want a hard kind of draw into him if needs to be. So you want to maximize those efforts in order for you to get this in your hand. Going over to then the Megas. Megas, we are running a solid 7. Once again, key to the strat, so we'll just go on with the boy who's coming back out brush it off, my guy. And this is going to be your start deck Jesmon. Absolutely glorious art. I mean, just slap. Get rid of the border and this be just all art ready. Blitz Jess is a menace and really good with the Unrestricted Savior, because on Digivolve it just get that blitz. So we're not necessarily bothered about the cost of this, because most likely with the inheritors that we do have with BT14 support, you're able to claw back that memory nicely in order for you to essentially swing again. It's when attacking is also glorious because it isn't once per turn, so you're able to play out a system from your hand without paying its memory cost, which is just handy. Obviously for us, we are running the nice BT6 and 10 CL, so we can facilitate either grabbing more memory or going into a bit of a further combo with the BT10 CL and also still grabbing that memory. And then once your turn, once per turn, this Digimon gains security attack +1, an additional 3000 DP. So 15,000 based up in here once obviously it's propped a system on from its effect. And then obviously if you do have that BT6 CL out, you know, you get an additional 2k DP, making sure that he's 17. So he's swinging for big D energy. But the thing that's really good with this, obviously with the inheritables, with like Greymon giving that additional security attack, it goes in for freaking 3 checks. Big damage. You're just going in with the Judgment of the Blade. Savior. Trigger it again. Then we flip into Omni and we just go in and clear up gate. Though we do obviously have some options that we need to trigger before we go into the big boy combo. But before we delve into that, we have to then mention our boy is going to be your Jess X. This Evo for free. The thing that's really good with this combined with the BT6 Savior is that it adds a nice bit of control, because when Digivolving, you know, you may play a system on from hand or trash, which is just glorious right there. Get some extra memory, play out another sister, facilitate the Chimeramon play. But then if an effect was true, if you play the card by its effect, you are able to then, or if there's a system on out, you're able to then attack an unsuspended Digimon. Obviously for us, we can attack freaking twice. So we can just go in, pick that Digimon out, and we've managed to get some nice bit of board control right there. As well, obviously, if say we want to go for a swing with Blitz Jess, Evo into your Jesmon X, obviously you do your 2 checks as standard, you unsuspend, then you are able to attack an unsuspended Digimon, but still have security attack +2. Obviously with the Greymon underneath, going in for the free, blam, you're just eating well. You're just eating so well with this boy. So this is the reason why you do run that there at free. The thing that you need to know though, if you can't OTK, yeah, sometimes you just kind of like, you've blowed your load. You're just done. Like the momentum is gone. It's literally all or nothing with the GXless deck right here. So lastly, we go in with the Blitz Omni. We're brushing him off out the cupboard. Blitz Omni is just great. It's just a finish up game as standard. We have 2 conditions to finish up game. We have Chimeramon and we also have Omnimon. 2 easy conditions in this build. Because obviously when Digivolving Blitz and then when Digivolving unsuspended Digimon, it's just an easy condition right here. The alterns don't even bother about it. I'm like, if you can't finish the dinner, you've probably lost. Right there. So easy 2 off right there. I think that's a fantastic balance. So that concludes for the Digimon in its entirety. We do run 44. So going on to the options, the techs. So I think if you're going in for the OTK, you cannot be blind or even be naive to the opponent's security. Like, you got to make sure you got a Del plan on deck, like without a doubt, because this just means that you've just won at that point. Like, unless there's something bigger in security that's going to kill Jesmon, which 9 times out of 10, if you've got a system on CL out, you're eating pretty well. This just means that obviously this Digimon doesn't activate any security effects of any card that it checks. So I think this is option cards right now. It is option cards. That's completely wrong what I was reading. That's the old version until I got it righted. So delicate plan as standard. Depending on how the meta shapes, you might want to change that to 2 if you want to secure that OTK and just not worry about a thing. So then going on to the red memory boost, we do run a nice cheeky one of this. The reason why I do like Member Boost in this is because, one, it's great cards for adding that bit of consistency, but also a good card for you to, say if you've mulliganed and you've got like some of the line, but then you've got a red memory boost, but you just need like one card, which you know you've got a decent ratio of. Red memory boost comes in freaking clutch in order for you just to kind of throw that down, get your search off, get your piece, and then keep it banked up ready for you to clap cheeks. The reason why I don't really run more is because obviously we do have the Systemons in here. So we don't want to throw this down and just mill our Systemons, because Systemons in hand is actually pretty important versus the standard build where we can just get from hand trash, freaking, you know, it's easy pickings. But this is quite delicate in order for us to essentially pop off, and decks are getting faster, being the main thing. Jesmon hasn't got any faster, in a sense. It still has that consistency issues where the other decks have actually got amazing consistency now that they've got the trainings and also do have the standard boost that they had before. So they've got extreme consistency. But we do have Master Disciple, which we are running at 4. The reason why I run this at 4 because it's probably the most cracked card in this deck. It searches out pretty much every card in this freaking deck, which is glorious, minus the options, and obviously Tamer and Greymon. It's just a great facilitator in order for us to kind of pop off, which is going to be great, as well as if it's propped off in security, it gives us a bit of search, and also goes into our battle area as a nice cheeky delay to reduce one of our evos by 1 when we need to. So the good thing about this is not like Training Wave. Once you've activated it, you have to evo into a red Digimon. This, you can pop it and it just goes bound based on the next evo, not color bound, which is just glorious. So that concludes there for the GX-less build. After I was struggling to say OTK, I had O2K, I don't know what I was doing, but that concludes for the GX-less build. Going now to the GX build. So you're probably thinking, whoa, what you doing here, Dread? Follow me on this, guys. I'm doing my testing. So, GX build. The thing here is that obviously we do have the saviors at full power. We've got so many options that we can utilize, which means that we can kind of flex on some of the ratios right here. Not too much, but we do have a lot more options. I'm going to briefly go over some, obviously, the notable mentions, but I'm not going to go too in-depth in comparison to the GX build. So, obviously, Stan, we still run the egg of SaviorHuckmon. So, you're probably thinking, why not the Greymon? The reason why I do like about this is because, obviously, we do want to kind of keep that memory. We don't want to give too much memory when we're absolutely going off ham. The thing that's good about the GX build is that it's that protection. It's that they have to answer your board or they are dead. That is the thing right here. With the GX's build, if you're not OTKing them, they can remove your board pretty efficiently. The way the decks are powered now, deck removal or board removal is quite easy to do. But GX and the Swarmer Sisters with the DP boost, with the bounce and DP protection, it makes it very hard for the opponent to delete unless they're deleting by levels. So even though we might get a bit overrun at the start, we may not be as fast, we make up for that massive burst turn and having a load of blockers out and just making a fortified wall that they have to answer. So still with this SaviorHuckmon, we're going to give them less memory for them to not deal with our board as standard. Obviously we still run the standard Huckmons and so forth, but we do have 2 flex spots being the thing here. So normally I would run the Solomon. Depending on how our meta shapes up, Solomon could come back in. That's not a problem. Though I have been looking at Security Huckmon a little bit. The reason why is that I ideally want to make sure that my security's got something going on in there. And if this happens to be in security, you know, 9 times out of 10 it's not in security, it means that once it can actually do battle with whatever it's going into, but then is able to delete at 4000 DP or less. So depending on if there is a floodgate that's stopping card effects and so forth, a freaking Pillowmon, yellow vaccine is going to be a thing. It means that we can pop that and get this to hand if we don't happen to have a rookie. By Christ, we better have a rookie, otherwise we're already on a losing foot. I do like what it's doing here, because ultimately, I could run BT7 Huckmon, that's not a problem. Though, GX build, you do not want to mill your pieces, or not mill, but you don't want to kind of bottom deck your pieces, your combos. It's very piece reliant, So I'd rather just not have an inheritable in there. I'd rather just be like, you know what, if I have to throw a BT6 Huckmon underneath, that is fine. If I have to throw this underneath in my main stack, that is fine. But I do like that it's searchable. It has something that you can do out of security if it is in there. And just adds to that bit of consistency, you know, able to draw effectively 2 cards in a sense, because obviously it'll draw one if I can't delete anything, and then I'll add this to hand. It can be quite a big decider in the game state. Though, you can put this to whatever you want. It is not a problem. We just have space that we can put in whatever. 9 times out of 10, it most likely be a Solomon, just depending on the mayor's going. So, Systemons in terms of level 3s, that's pretty standard. We do run the Systemon Blanc, and we do run the Start Deck Blanc there as well. Obviously, Blocker is quite crucial. Though in this day and age, and what's going to be happening in BT14 is that, like I say, everything and their dog can freaking just knock out a level 3. It's unbelievable. Like, oh, there's my board gone. Level 3's done. Like, it is really frustrating. But when it does come up, it does come up. And I remember running the system on Blanc here at 1 at one point. And funnily enough, because I couldn't find this system on, I actually lost majority of my games, and then I upped it to 2, and I was clapping cheeks. So, if they have an answer to it, they have an answer to it. It's pretty, you know, you're doing well played. But if they don't, then you're sitting pretty nicely. Going over to the champions pretty much the same in here. Obviously, we do run our bowels. That's a standard. Obviously, we want to be really focused on that consistency. Because, like I say, all the other decks have got faster. We've not really got that faster. We could come out probably a turn earlier, but it means that we're actually probably giving them, the opponent, even more memory than necessary. So obviously, we still want to kind of just keep on that consistency of just running the bows. Then in terms of your sisters, we have obviously reduced our system on CL just to 1. The reason why is because now that we do have these BT6 Savior, effectively, if we do have that in stack and we are going to blitz with that, we do kind of have its own reboot in a sense. It just unsuspends if I have a system on out. So we don't really necessarily have to focus so much on having this out on the end of turn play. It means that we can actually fortify our board a little bit more with probably more system on Blancs from the starter deck, because there's a lot of decks that can just pop, delete you, especially a Featherlugomon, can just delete by level and can pretty much eradicate a big stack effortlessly. It can remove a stack pretty easily. So this is the reason why we have knocked that down to 1. But obviously, you know, our main kind of facilitator for the massive combos is, you know, you do want to see this pretty much in hand or in trash at some point. So we do run that solid at 3. Then going over to the Savior. So before, obviously, we'd only run 1 of the SaviorHuckmon, BT6. But now that obviously we do have it unrestricted, it means that we can actually do like a nice 3-3 split. Because what we can kind of be doing is that we can be setting up trash ready for our Chimeramon plays if necessary. If we manage to keep turn. Not each battle goes the same, we can flex it up, we have those options of plays. So having a nice 3-3 split is really good, and just being able to facilitate Chimeramon and those shenanigans is really nice. Also enables us to kind of come out a turn early if needs be, and also add a bit of more further control when we are using our Jesmon X antibody, which is just the nuts. We still run the BT14 Savior as standard. Once again, our main game plan is spawn out sisters. Spawn out sisters, that's going to fortify our board. Also as well, you know, if we do happen to throw out a system on out, we can reduce the cost of going into Jesmon by 2, which is pretty massive right there. It means that we can actually go into our Jesmon X antibody for the cost of 1, and then we can claw back turn if we happen to have a BT6 CL out. So we've got great ways to obviously utilize that, but realistically, you know, if we are going out, we should either be in our ultimate ready to kind of pop off from there. So then lastly, we do run the 2 Chimeramons as standard. You know, Chimeramon's a staple. It is staple. It's enough kind of said on that. We utilize sisters, DNA. We do have that Savior there unrestricted, so we can actually just tuck that underneath and just get some awesome aggression off that. Then obviously for our Megas, top end, so we now do run just the one Blitz Jess. This is just more for change of pace. Also, as well, depending on, obviously, your board state, depending if you've got Red Memory Boost set up and, you know, you've got your Master Disciples and so forth, you can actually achieve a freaking 5-check damage on this boy. It is crazy if you manage to go to GX and you manage to somewhat keep turn. It is possible. I've done it before. It's a mad aggression. And the thing that I like about having this and being able to utilize it a bit more is that we're able to change up the pace if needs be. Ultimately, I probably would have slotted in a BT14 Jess, just because that is great when I am going into my GX play and I can go for a mass board wipe depending on how many mons are out on the field. But Blitz Jess can definitely come in quite nicely if you are able to claw back turn. It gives you a nice another option of play that you can do. You can still tuck it underneath your GX. Granted, you don't get this when digivolving because it's already blitzing. So it is really nice in terms of what you can kind of do here with having Blitz in and being somewhat useful with the Savior Unrestricted. So then, obviously, the usual suspects, we do run obviously our Jess X. That's pretty standard right there. Nice board control. You can go on top of our Jesmon starter deck Jess for extra Systemon spawns, which is nice. Obviously, we can tuck it underneath our GX if needs be. We still run the Ganku at 2. Like I say, depending on how the meta shifts, we do have Melga, who is also a bouncing fiend. Also with Blast Digivolves and so forth. Having that nice bounce protection is really handy in this deck, which is still needed. Obviously, there is Mirage. We don't know how Mirage is going to pop off. We do have, obviously, Yellow Vaccine with the DP minusing. Ganku X has still got a place in this deck, for sure. And then lastly, we do go in with our top end, and that's going to be your Jesmon GX. We're still running at 3. The reason why is 1, it's great in hand. 2, it's great in security. If people are going to be swinging in absolutely willy-nilly, it means that we can actually have some form of defense in our security, which comes up quite a few times in testing. I can't lie. But if we manage to have our Savior BT6 underneath, it makes sure that we have either reboot or kind of reboots, it unsuspends if we have a Systemon out, and applies immense pressure that the opponent has to deal with this. It's not a matter of might be able to let it kind of slide. It has to deal with this, because then effectively this boy is going to be swinging twice if there's a Systemon out on the field, which is pretty menacing. This boy naturally can do 3 checks right here. Have a freaking Jesmon Blitz, he can do 5, which is huge. Obviously, after its main effect's kind of gone, it's going to be then going back down to 4. But I mean, 4 checks, still pretty big right there. So yeah, him plus this boy really opens up quite a few plays. So then going on to the options. I've managed to still squeeze in a red memory boost. And I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely loving it. This card has come up so many times. It's really helped out. It's really helped out in terms of like my mulligans, in terms of like, okay, I can feel like I can be a bit greedy. I'm missing like 1 piece. Most likely I can draw it off top 4. Boom. It's just come really clutch. It's able to net me some memory when I need it. Also, when I do use my Master Disciple, just comes really clutch. I mean, effectively, I'm evoing, reducing the cost of my next evo by 3 in essence, which can be pretty huge when you are going to GX and manage to claw back turn, because effectively if I have BT6 Savior underneath, I can swing twice, which is pretty much GG boys at that point. And if I have a freaking Chimeramon, game. Granted, very rare instance of that OTK happening. Jesmon GX build isn't an OTK deck at all, but it's a next turn kill. And it does it freaking pretty well when it gets the nuts. So definitely nice solid 1 right there. You could easily flex it to 2 if you want to kind of adjust the ratios, but I think 1 is just, It's always the one-off. It's like, I feel like HPD. It's the culture one-off, and it's just coming in so handy. And then Master Disciple, pretty standard right there. But that is me done. Both lists completed. Tell me what you think. Give it a test. Give it a test run. And let me know in the comments. But guys, stay safe, stay fly, much love, and I'll catch you next one. D-Dread, off the mic.